Theme, plot, and character. Theme. Theme is an underlining message or big idea of talk, books, film, or other works. As the theme develops, look for how the character responds to situations and how the speaker reflects upon a topic in a literary text. Step 1. Think about what the literary text was about. Step 2. Look for how the character responds to situation and for morals or lesson that a character can learn or teach. So think about how is the character responding to a problem in the story? How is the character reacting to something that is occurring in the story? Step 3, find evidence from the text to support the message the author wants you to learn. So we're always going to look for that text evidence. Step 4, use what you thought about in steps 1 through 3 to explain the theme of the literary text. Be ready to justify the theme in your own words and how it developed throughout the text using text evidence. Again, we always want to refer back to the text even with theme. And remember, theme is the moral message of the story. So let's look at what the theme is in this example. So we have a little boy. He says, I've never done this before. Then he goes down the slide. When he gets to the end of the slide, he goes, wow, that was fun. I can't wait to go again. So let's think about what is the theme of this story? What is the moral, the message, or lesson that the author wants us to learn? Well, it would be it takes courage to try new things. So let's practice that with this story. So, Ant the center. Danny was the smallest player on the soccer team, earning him his nickname Ant. He was small but used his size to move fast. The team's center, Laura was nicknamed Grasshopper. She was quick on her feet and always ready to spring into action. One day after practice, Laura saw Danny still in the field. Hey, Ant, what are you doing? She yelled to him. Just putting in practice, Grasshopper. Laura laughed. Why spend more time on drills? That's a waste of time. I could still improve a lot, Danny replied. Laura left with her friends. Danny stayed late. At the next practice, Danny challenged himself to defend Laura. He zoomed past her, stole the ball, and scored a goal. Laura was shocked. The coach posted the lineup for the next game. Hey, Ant is starting at center, one of the players shouted, filling Danny with pride. So, what is the moral message or lesson of the story? And these are some ideas: bravery, courage, anger, grief, suffering, hope, growing up, and justice, injustice, hard work, making a difference, teamwork. So, let's look at the evidence in the text because remember, we want to go back to that evidence in the text. So, let's look at the evidence. Just putting in practice, Grasshopper. I could still improve a lot, Danny replied. Danny challenged himself to defend Laura, filling Danny with pride. If we look at all of that evidence supports hard work leads to success. Now remember, a theme is a moral lesson of the story, and it's not just going to be always be one word because remember, if you look here, yes, we picked hard work, but if we have to say what hard work means. Hard work leads to success because that is what occurred. So let's look at the plot of the story. The plot is the plan of a literary text. So we're going to be looking at the beginning. These are events that include the problem the character's facing. Then it's going to have rising action that leads to the middle where the climax of the story is going to happen. These events show how the characters are trying to solve the problem. And then we're going to go down to the end. This events include how the characters solved the problem. All right, so let's practice this. That's my kitten. Did you hear that, Mom? JC asked. They were loading groceries into their car. Hear what? Mom asked. JC bent down and looked under their car. Two tiny eyes peered back at her. It's a kitten. It looked scared. Can we keep it? JC begged. This kitten may belong to someone, Mom said. Let's try to find its owner. JC held it and petted its soft gray fur all the way home. Together, JC and Mom made signs with lost kitten at the top. Then they drove back to the grocery store. Mom taped up a sign while JC and the kitten played. They turned to leave when suddenly they heard a shout. Wait, a little boy cried. That's my kitten. She got out last night. JC sighed. Then she put the kitten into the boy's arms. Thank you, the boy said. The boy and the kitten were happy. Now JC was too. So let's look at what is happening at the beginning of the story. What is the problem? If we look, that's where they found a lost kitten. Climax, how's the character solving the problem? If we look, JC's mom, they drove back to the grocery store and they decided to see if they put up signs that said lost kitten. And then what happened at the end of the story? How did the character solve the problem? They returned to the grocery store and found the owner of the kitten. All right, character. A character is a person or animal in the story. Characters develop throughout the plot. Characters' development includes traits, feelings, motivation, and responses and actions. So, traits. Traits are the character's personality. What is the character like? How does the character behave? So, like if we were thinking of the character Hercules, we would say we would give him the character traits of being strong or brave. If we're thinking about feelings, analyze how the character feels or reacts to a situation. How does the character feel? So if we were reading the story about Harry Potter, how is he feeling or how is he reacting to certain situations? Motivation. Motivation is the reason a character does something. What do they want or need? So let's think about Diary of a Wimpy Kid. What is his motivation? Why is he doing the things that he's doing? What does he want or need? And then our last one is response actions. Analyze what the character does based on the event. What does the character do as a result of their motivation, feelings, and traits? What happens because of their traits, their feelings, and motivations? What does this lead to? All right, so if we're looking here, this is the giant, and the giant says, "Hey, let me help you over the mountain. I'll be here when you want to go home." So the traits is that we would say that this giant is pleasant and friendly. His feelings, how does the giant feel? He feels happy. What is the giant's actions? He moves people over the mountain. And motivation, wants to help people. So if we look, that's the way that the character, right, feels, thinks, traits. So let's look at this. Let's practice again. Jake's secret talent. For as long as Jake could remember, his sisters had been dancers. They took lessons and practice at home. Jake started copying their moves. His sister said he should take classes, but Jake said no. I could never dance in front of others, he thought. That year, the school play was Red Riding Hood. Jake's friend Gil wanted a part. Gil, you'll get one. I'll go with you to the trials, Jake said. When the friends arrived, a girl dressed in red was reading her lines. A wolf mask lay on the floor. As a joke, Gil put the mask on Jake's head. You, wolf, called the teacher. Step forward. No one could see Jake's face. He felt free. He leaped into the air and landed gracefully, just like a wild animal. Jake used his dance moves. I don't know your name, exclaimed the teacher, but you have the part. So let's think about Jake's traits. We would say he's brave, courageous, talented. What are his feelings? He feels scared to audition, but brave with a mask. Motivation. He loves to dance, but not in front of others. And that would lead to the actions. Jake accidentally auditions for a dance part. All right, feel free to subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course, I have an account on Kahoot and TPT.